The Alabama Crimson Tide have won 2 of the last 3 college football championships. However, they're still looking for ways to stay inspired. Check this out. A special guest who recently spoke to the team.
To be an effective leader, you have to be a really good listener. And not to what's being said, but to what's not being said. You know, you have to be really observant. And you have to, that was a big transition for me. I went from being a scorer and a floor general to now, you know, with Powell and Lamar trying to win other championships, to being a leader. And that meant putting others first. That means not worrying about are you in rhythm? You know, are you playing well in this game? Are you ready to go? To being, are they ready? What can I do to help them be ready? Right? That's the big transition to make. Right? You got to observe them because they all have things that they want to accomplish as individuals. And as a leader, you're like, okay, what are those things? And how can I help them accomplish that?
What up, C?
What can I do here, C? You always give me a hard time.
Kobe's got an amazing Mamba mentality. That means he's forgotten everything.
I mean, I feel like it's hard to watch more NBA basketball than I watch. When was this era that Kobe's discussing? The facilitator put other guys first era. Like, listen, Kobe's a 5-time champion. He's one of the 10 greatest players ever. But
that's what I do.
Truth.
Like, listen, the most important thing is how you guys do your show.
Not me.
Not me, not my material.
I do well when you do well.
How you guys feel.
I had to make that transition.
When did he make it? When he was as a filmmaker?
No, before the
It wasn't as a basketball player. I mean, listen, again, people say, Nick, why are you always hating on Kobe? He's one of the 10 greatest players ever, but he can't just... Kobe acts like he played in Bob Cousy's era, and there's not film. Yeah. Like that we didn't know what happened.
My son did tell me, Nick's opinions, they're getting a little bit better and everything.
Oh.
We're watching him up here in Canada and everything. But let's give Nick Saban credit. Nick Saban, there is no salary cap as far as speakers. Nick Saban will bring in the best speakers from all walks of life to give his kids the advantage. I got to give Nick Saban credit. I've seen this through the years. Man, he will bring in any and everyone who has won at different types of levels or been successful so that his kids get that experience. So great for the Alabama players. I just wish they would have met the real Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. And I'll give Kobe credit for this. I love the new look. The beard, the full beard looks good. And he was hanging out at the Drew League this weekend catching some ball. So that was nice to see as well.
Way to go, Kobe. Time for some stories.
The most important part of listening is what they don't say. Yeah, you were good at that part of listening, Kobe. What you don't say, I hear.
Nailed it. Stories to start your morning. The Browns continue to court Dez Bryant. Tyrod Taylor said that would be awesome when asked about the Browns adding Dez. CC, would Dez be an awesome fit in Cleveland?
I think he would be. I think that, man, he is hungry. I think the wide receiver coach, he's got a history of dealing with dynamic wide receivers at LSU with the Giants and OBJ, and now they're with Jarvis. So, yes, I think he would be. And the quarterback, if the quarterback likes it, typically it's good.
But does it matter so much if Tyrod likes it or more if Baker likes it? It would be because Baker's the quarterback.
Right now, Baker's not going to be quarterback in the
Week
Browns
one?
for the next 6 weeks.
Okay.
All right? The Browns are committed to Tyrod. That's what's important. Baker can adjust to him. Baker can throw the football.
I think it'd be great for Dez for sure. And if any offensive coordinator is going to also help teach Dez the best way to be a wide receiver, it would be Todd Haley. So I think for Dez it'd be a great fit.
Yes.
For the Browns, I'd want to have a long heart-to-heart with him before we sign him.
No. Everyone knows Baker's the future star. Don't mess with the kid from Oklahoma.
All right, Jets had a brawl in camp over the weekend against Washington. The fight reportedly started when Jets corner Trumaine Johnson cheap shot at Washington tackle Morgan Moses. Is this a big deal, CC, these fights in training camp?
As long as no one gets hurt, because that's what you're really trying to come out. These joint practices, man, guys get a little chippy. You get tired of practicing against your own teammates during training camp, so it is nice to have joint practices. It's part of the NFL. You try not to get in any skirmishes like this, but this is dangerous. You hope no one comes out with injuries. It's going to happen, though, if you get grown football players together.
And when it's that many people involved, it's a little surprising no one got seriously hurt. No one fell down. No one got stepped on. Like, typically training camp fights are a couple guys fighting, a couple guys breaking it up, and a couple guys like CeCe just kind of walking off field looking.
Yeah, I'm right there like Josh Reed. Hey, man, y'all handle that.
But, I mean, this was like 30 on 30, and then it, by the way, also inspired some of the fans to start fighting.
If I know anything about the Jets, man, they lost.
Man, the Jets taking L's left and right.
Finally, a year ago, Tiger was all but done. He had some scandal in his life. He had some back surgeries. Little did we know Tiger was preparing really for one of the greatest comeback stories in all of sports. Yesterday at the PGA Championship, he was just lights out, shooting a 64, finishing 14 under for the tournament. He shot his lowest score ever in the final round of a major, finishing second behind Brooks Koepka, who doesn't work out or anything. Here is Tiger after the round on Sunday.
I didn't know how many tournaments I'd play this year or if I'd even play. And so each tournament brought about its own challenges. And I didn't know what the number was going to be this year. I didn't know how I was going to play. And so at the beginning of the year, if you just said, yeah, I would have a legit chance to win the last two major championships, with what swing? I didn't have a swing at the time. You know, I had no speed. I didn't have a golf swing. I didn't have, my short game wasn't quite there yet. You know, my putting was okay, but I hadn't played in 2 years, and so it's been a hell of a process this year. But I'm in uncharted territory because there's no one's ever had a fused spine hitting it like I'm hitting it, so I've had to try and figure this out on my own, and it's been really, really hard. It's a lot harder than people think, and I'm just very pleased at what I've done so far, and now, I mean, to be part of the Ryder Cup conversation, going from where I've come from to now in the last year, it's been pretty cool.
How many times do I continue to say it's pleasant? He's so pleasant to listen to. Here's a guy who came in second place, one of the most competitive athletes you'll ever meet, and he was okay with it because he knows where he came. He's got really good perspective on how far he's come.
High-fiving fans, Jenna, during a major, which
he
you
doesn't
never
associate with fans.
Yeah.
If anything, he's cursing them out because they're disturbing him. But see, how close is Tiger to looking like the Tiger that we used to know?
Well, for one, you make a great point, and have throughout his whole comeback, how different his interviews was, how his on-the-course demeanor. And Nick, he follows Tiger and is obsessed with Tiger, a lot like myself. Yesterday before the round, I thought was very, very telling because even at 4 shots back at 8 under, he arrives at the golf course. He's got his hat on backwards.
Yeah.
He's got the dark glasses. Tiger Woods is never going to do that on a Sunday. He was very stiff, very regimented, very insulated. Even the people around him, like, they know, man, don't mess with Tiger. He has this super duper focus. And now he's very open. He's appreciative of the game of golf and his ability. He said it. No one has hit the ball with a fused back and played on the tour. So no one can do what he's been able to do. So it's been remarkable.